What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Let's do it. Let's go over some of my spoiler-free first impressions of Zack Snyder's The Justice League. Yes, Zack Snyder's, all right? Not to be confused with Josh Whedon's. As a matter of fact, Josh Whedon, if I were you, I would have it stricken from the record that I even worked on this project. I would go somewhere, hide out, just hope that everybody forgets about you, because let me tell you something. This version is what it was supposed to be. This is the only version that matters, and the rest of eternity will recognize it as such. And let me tell you something, guys. Going into this movie, I had every reason to not want to like this movie. I gotta confess, with all of the nonsense that went on last week with the whole Zack Snyder Geeks and Gamers stuff, with all of the hype, because let's face it, there was so much hype around this project. And I'm not one to really jump on the hype train, you know what I mean? So all of this time, you just keep on hearing about this Snyder Cut, this Snyder Cut, this Snyder Cut. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't try to know anything about it. I minded my business. I kept my mouth shut. I didn't speculate. I don't know anything, right? So I really didn't chime in. But, I roll with the fans. You know what I mean? I always side with the fans. So, everybody was saying that it was out there, that it existed, and it was coming. So it was like, okay, all right, well, you're going to have to show me, but also there's this thing, right, that happens where DCEU fans and Zack Snyder fans, there's this thing that they seem to always want to, or all too often, want to compare the DCEU with the MCU, and often that involves disrespecting the MCU. Now, I'm a Marvel guy, you know what I mean? So a lot of times I wasn't trying to hear that, man. I wasn't feeling that. I was like, what you saying? We had this thing on lock for the last 10 years, G. You know what I mean? Can we get some respect up in here? But it just seemed like everybody was just so determined to say, oh, that's the end of the Marvel universe and all that stuff. And it's just like, dude, bro, this is a win for all of us. You know what I mean? I collected DC. I collected Batman especially. When I was growing up, I collected DC, I collected Marvel. This age that we're living in, it's very limited. The whole superhero movie thing, I'm sure it's going to pass sooner or later. So this time right here is very special for those of us who grew up with this stuff. There's no time for the back and forth and the infighting. It's a win for all of us that this is happening. And it was certainly a win that the Snyder Cut fans and Army got their Snyder Cut. And let me tell you something, dudes, for all of the fighting that you did, for all of the perseverance and the determination and the ups and the downs and the emotional highs and lows, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank the Snyder Cut Army for all that you did. Because of you, I got to see this incredible movie. And like I said, I went in not wanting this, not needing this, not thinking I was going to like this. And if it's one thing I can respect, is when something wins me over when I wasn't expecting it to. And I gotta say, as far as movies go, I got turned out with Zack Snyder's Justice League. It turned me out, baby, because I'm watching it and I was slow, like Zack Snyder's slow motion. I was slow to get on board, when I was watching it, because like I said, Zack Snyder, slow motion to Zack Snyder is what explosions are to Michael Bay, right? So there's this tendency to overuse it for dramatic effect, and sometimes it could be a turnoff. So I was like, the first half an hour, maybe 45 minutes or so, I was noticing there was this tendency to put slow motion to music, and, for dramatic effect. And it was just like, all right, here we go again. You know what I mean? But that didn't last very long. I thought that was going to be what we were in for the entire movie. But it didn't last very long. Thankfully, the story got started. And when it did, it didn't let go. I was invested. I was like, okay, it feels different. Like the whole Josh Whedon thing was an absolute narrative mess. So I was pleasantly surprised that this one actually felt like it was moving along. There was a real story that was going on here. And guys, let me tell you something. Cyborg, everything they're saying is true. Cyborg was so much a part of this movie where he wasn't before. I was feeling his character, the dynamic between him and his father. It was very, very complicated. The thing he had going on inside of him. Am I man? Am I machine? Am I monster? How much do I need other people? I totally understand why Ray Fisher felt the way he felt, because if the Josh Whedon version had been the only version of this movie, then he would have been robbed, like big time, because he came through in a big way in this one. And I'm going to need to see that Cyborg movie, guys. I'm going to need to see that Cyborg movie. Now, as you guys know, I'm also a huge fan of Ben Affleck as Batman. So I got more of that here, and it solidified my opinion. I need to see a solo Ben Affleck Batman film. So I think it's safe for me to say at this point that I'm on board with hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. Yes, I am. Because every person on this team, casting was spot on. Ray Fisher, I'm a fan now. Ben Affleck, I've always been a fan. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, perfect. This is the version I like to see of her. That Wonder Woman 84 shit, I don't know what that was, but this is what I like to see. This is how I like to see her. And of course, the Flash, Ezra Miller. Once again, he came across as likable, and the other one he really didn't. I don't know. So I was dealing with that. I really like that. And Henry Cavill is Superman, guys. I don't know what they're trying to do by reinventing Superman. J.J. Abrams, please watch the Snyder Cut and stay the hell away. You know what I mean? Like, don't fuck with, leave it alone. I want the Snyderverse. That's what I want. That's what the people want. We don't want whatever it is J.J. Abrams is bringing. No. I don't want to see it. All right? I want more of what I saw. Okay? Now, is this for everybody? No. I understand where I could see the criticisms here. I'm not going to say that it was a seamless, that it was a perfect film. It wasn't. There were some things that I could have done without. At 4 hours, of course that was going to be the case. But I do understand that this man, I kind of feel, was making his case about why this franchise should live. Or at least in retrospect, why he wanted it to live. You get to see some of where he might have been going, in the future, what his ideas might have been, so that was good to see, guys. And I think it's worth exploring. I think it's worth continuing. But of course, WB, they're the ones that's going to make the ultimate decision. But you got something here. You really, really do. And there's no need to be comparing it with Marvel. My God, it's like, I'm so tired of this. The DCEU, oh, it's better than Endgame. It's better than Infinity War. Well, in your opinion, maybe it is. But at the same point, it's two very different projects. It feels very different. These are all different characters with different motivations in different universes, So like I said, you can appreciate one or the other or both. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, it's a win for the audience. It's a glorious time for comic book fans and comic book movie fans. So I'm not trying to feel all that. You know what I mean? It's like, I still love me some Infinity War. Endgame was all right, but it wasn't as good as Infinity War. Infinity War knocked me out. I feel like we have a worthy addition, to our comic book movie collection with Zack Snyder's Justice League. And that's where it is. The villains were good here. Steppenwolf, of course, we all know it's like night and day. He looks a lot better. As a matter of fact, the movie looks a lot better. It feels a lot better. It flows a lot better. I remember when I saw Josh Whedon's crap, that sequence where Aquaman, Jason Momoa, rides one of the winged critters or whatever down through the building and all that stuff. I remember in the Josh Whedon version, that looks so whack. You know what I mean? Just ridiculous. In this one, I was watching, and it flowed very, very nicely. Zack Snyder did some amazing things with lighting, and just you can tell there's a difference, in his style and the other style, So I really like that, guys. Everything came together very well. Like I said, you can tell that it was meant to go on. There was a good setup, for something further. But I guess time will tell. If they have any sense about them, they're going to explore this. Because there's a lot of fertile ground here. But like I said before, enough respect to all of the Snyder fans out there, the Snyder Army. Once again, the fans have made a huge difference. And I'm thankful for that, because it didn't have to be. So, everybody, we should really give them a round of applause for this, because this is a triumph. It really is. No matter how you feel about that man and, everything that's been going on, guys, don't let that influence you. Go check this thing out for yourself. And, see for yourself how you feel about it. And, of course, you can get in the comment section and let me know, if you have seen it, let me know how you feel about it, And if you're going to see it, once again, come on through. Let me know how you feel. And as always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And as always, in the description, you can find my link to my Twitter. You can find a Cash App. Thank you very much. And thank you for listening to me, guys. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.